heard the call. What happened?
I just stopped by to see if she was doing all right, and I saw her hand move.
Well, it's too soon to tell anything for sure, but that's a good sign.
This is incredible. I've been with her for 4 days, and she's laying there without moving a muscle.
Ben, look at her arm.
That's a good indication. That's a very good indication. She may pull out of this thing yet.
Praise the Lord.
What are you two doing in here?
She's moving. Watch.
Terry, you and Dr. Martin have been served by a court order. You're not allowed to treat this patient anymore. You shouldn't even be in this room.
Look, I heard the call. I came running. I'm a doctor. If someone needs help, I'm going to be there. Court order or no court order.
Get Dr. Thompson on the double. Now, you two, out. Now.
Please send Dr. Thompson to room 116. Stat. Can't believe it. Mrs. Mason's been in a coma for 4 days now, and suddenly she's showing signs of life. It must be a miracle.
Oh, brother, that's all this hospital needs. Another miracle.
You know what you are? You're a chauvinist. You still think I'm some precious maiden who has to be rescued and adored.
Well, take away the nuance and the sarcasm, and you've got it pretty well summed up.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe the Lord was leading me into this job?
And I'm sure he'll get that point across to me if that's the case.
Not if you won't listen. You are presuming this is wrong just because it goes against what's normal.
I am not presuming. I'm protecting. Laura, you're wanting to help disadvantaged and mentally handicapped children can be a ministry that God's given you. But are you ready to charge into the heat of battle? Wouldn't God prepare you with smaller challenges?
Hi, Mom.
Peter, hi.
All right, just had to drop off these blueprints to the hospital. Thought I'd stop by and say hello.
I'm glad you did. I've got some great news. Miriam's responding. She moved her arm this morning.
Oh, did she?
I know it must not sound like much, but for somebody in Miriam's condition, it could be the first step to recovery.
Yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, well, if she pulls out of this, it could be a miracle.
Not in this hospital.
Huh?
You forget. There are no miracles allowed here. It's against hospital regulations. We can have unexplained recoveries, but no miracles.
Oh, Lester.
Mm-hmm. Who else?
Yeah, some people.
Well, he has a hospital to run, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not keeping you from anything.
Oh, no. But, Peter, don't you have work to do?
Well, this is work, sort of.
Oh.
Got a question for you. What would you do if someone you knew was about to get into something that you didn't think was such a good idea?
Peter, don't you think you could be a little more specific?
Well, I got a friend who's about to get into a situation that could mean big trouble. I gotta warn her before it's too late.
Huh?
It's Vicky.
And what kind of trouble is she getting into?
Gil Prescott. She's falling for every one of his come-ons, Mom. Hook, line, and sinker.
You mean Gil is succeeding where you failed?
Mom, I know what he's like. He told me how he treats women. He told me.
Peter, don't you think maybe you're just a little bit jealous of Gil? I mean, after all, Vicky turned down your advances, as I recall.
Jealous? Of course not.
Okay, I'm just asking that you look inside your own heart and make sure what you find is love, not envy.
Well, I care about Vicky, that's all. Yeah, I don't want to see her get hurt. She has no idea what Gil's really like.
I don't see that there's anything you can do about it.
There must be something. Maybe I should talk to her.
Peter, you can't live somebody else's life for them. Now, Vicky's a grown woman. I'm sure she's capable of taking care of herself.
But you don't understand what could happen.
Ah, I see. Yes. You've been around. You know you're a man of the world.
Mom.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Lewis. I'll be right there.
Lester?
Our fearless leader. I've got to be in his office right away. Listen, could we talk about this later?
Yeah, sure. What, tonight?
Well, if it's not too late, I may have to work tonight.
Tomorrow?
Better run. See you.
Bye. Great. Maybe I should schedule an appointment?
Hey, Charles, come on in. Have a seat.
Thank you.
You too. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make the meeting.
Under the circumstances, I hardly could have expected you to attend, but here's the minutes if you want to look them over.
Did Prescott make his report?
Yeah, everything's great. They finished the first phase of construction, and we're 6 days ahead of schedule.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well, the weather's been a boon. Let's just hope our luck holds out.
You two are disgusting. I mean, how can you talk business at a time like this?
Nancy.
Well, your daughter, my best friend, is in a coma. And who knows how long she may last that way, and you're talking about Hollister Mall?
I am touched by your concern for Miriam's well-being, Nancy.
Those people at that hospital tried to kill her. Now, what are we doing about it?
Well, malpractice suit's been filed. And Doctors Greeley and Martin and your sister have been served with a restraining order. They can no longer go anywhere near Miriam.
Well, I should say not. I mean, those incompetent quacks. Who knows what they could try with her next? Why don't we get her moved out of there, Charles?
I've contacted a new doctor, Dr. Thompson, who specializes in such cases. If he recommends a transfer, then I will make all the arrangements.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Hang on. It's hospital, Charles.
Hello? Yes, this is he. Is she conscious? All right, thank you very much. I'm coming right over. Miriam moved. I've got to go see her.
Is she talking?
Well, no, not yet. But she may regain consciousness any minute, so I want to go on over there. Are you coming?
Sure.
Good.
Now, you don't seem exactly overjoyed by the news.
Of course I am, Harold. That's fantastic.
Or could it just be that there's something you would rather Miriam didn't talk about?
Good day, Harold.
Gil, I told you, we gotta get that concrete poured by tomorrow.
I scheduled for the afternoon. That's the best I could do, okay?
Okay, I guess we'll just have to live with it, huh?
Well, you know, if you would have told me sooner...
I told you as soon as I could. You knew that.
Okay. Tomorrow will be okay. You know, we're still ahead of schedule.
We won't be if you keep this up.
What's the problem?
Oh, no problem at all.
Oh, good. Oh, Gil, here's the revisions on those blueprints. I'd like you to look them over, huh?
Okay.
Thanks. I know he's got a long way to go down, but be patient with him, huh?
I tried, Jason. I do try.
I know. He can learn a lot from you. Oh, let me ask you, how are you getting along?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I told you it's been easy.
Yeah, I know. I've been praying for you. It's a rough road.
Been going to AA every night this week.
Good. One day at a time, as they say.
You know, I've quit drinking before, Jason. 3 weeks here, a few months there, it never lasted. This time it's different. I can feel it. This time I'm going to make it, Jason. I know I am.
That's the attitude it takes.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to understand the difference.
Amen. Good advice for everybody.
Every AA meeting begins with that little plea at the beginning. You know, all my life, I've been struggling alone with my own little problem. And I can't tell you what a relief it is to be around people who know what it's like.
Why, sure. And other people who can help each other out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, have you seen Donna?
I took her out to dinner last night.
Well.
Well, it's just for pizza, you know.
Well, don't knock it. That's my idea of a big night on the town. How'd it go?
Things were a little tense. I can't say that I blame her, though. She's been through so much, you know.
Well, it'll take time.
You know, Jason, when I'm not drinking, it's like I'm a completely different person inside. Don and I are almost like strangers. We got to start all over again.
Hey, Dad.
In a minute. You're doing great, Dom. I'm really proud of you. And I'll be praying for you.
Thanks, Jason. I need all the help I can get.
Easy does it. Excuse me, Gil. What?
About these changes. They're going to cost us way too much.
Well, it can't be helped. What you had wasn't up to code.
Sure was.
Oh, no. Look again. You see here? Those circuits are overfused. Now you split them, run the line down this way, no problem, see?
Oh, I see.
Be thankful that we discovered that in time. That thing could have cost us some big bucks.
Prescott, got the revised plans for the nursing station?
Oh, thanks, Peter.
Hey, how's it going, Peter? Anything else, Mr. Prescott?
No, that's all, Peter.
Yes?
This is Mr. Kimball at the Board of Education.
Oh, Mr. Kimball.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I couldn't be better.
I've been trying to reach you.
Well, I've been in and out today. We must have just missed each other.
The reason I'm calling is to tell you that the board has finally made a decision concerning the remedial reading class we talked about.
Yes?
They've decided they want to go ahead and fund the course again this summer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's such a worthwhile project, and somebody has to give those kids a chance.
You feel very strongly about that, don't you?
Yes, I do. If those kids don't get an education, well, I'd hate to think what would happen. No job,
No future, no hope. Did I say something funny?
Oh, no. I'm laughing because the board wanted to know if you had the determination for the job.
Me?
Are you kidding? I said you should hear her on the subject. She's worse than I am.
You mean I've got it? I've got the job?
I didn't tell you?
No, I mean, yes. Well, whatever. Oh, that's wonderful.
It's not going to be easy, you know.
Oh, I'm so happy, Mr. Kimball.
Well, I think this job takes someone with guts and determination, and I think you've got what it takes.
I can't wait to get started.
Can you come in tomorrow at 10?
I'll be there.
Good. We can go over some of the paperwork, and then we'll go over the curriculum. You've got quite a challenge ahead of you, young lady.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
See you tomorrow, then.
You bet. Oh, and Mr. Kimball, thank you. Oh, I got the job!
When did you first notice a response?
Mrs. Davidson was with her. She came down this morning to see how Mrs. Mason was doing, and she noticed her hand move.
Has there been any change since then?
Not exactly. You know, she looks like she could wake up any minute.
Cases like this can be deceiving. I've seen it time and time again. A patient goes through a phase of responding to stimuli, then falls back into a completely comatose state.
She looks so normal.
Her body movement is a very positive indication. I've ordered an electroencephalogram to determine if there's been any major change in her brainwave activity. We'll know more then.
Will the EEG be able to tell if there's been any brain damage?
Well, it should give us a pretty good idea. But as I said, it's hard to tell. She could stay in this state for months. On the other hand, she might wake up any minute, start talking about the weather as if nothing had happened. I had a patient once who was in a coma for 3 months. She woke up one morning and wanted to know why they were so late in bringing her breakfast.
After 3 months?
Even by hospital standards. That's a long time to wait for powdered eggs and cold toast.
Well, I certainly am glad to hear that there's hope for Mrs. Mason.
Yes, there's hope. There's always hope.
Charles, can't you stop that? I mean, back and forth, you're driving me nuts.
Nancy, what do you want me to do?
Well, why don't you sit down?
If only they'd let me see her. They won't let me see her.
Well, Charles, the doctor's in there with her, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, she's not conscious. They'll tell you if she's conscious.
Dr. Martin.
Yes?
How is she?
Miriam?
Miriam, of course.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Carpenter. As a consequence of the lawsuit, I'm not at liberty to discuss her condition.
Never mind the lawsuit. Just tell me how she is. Is she going to come out of it?
In case you've forgotten, Mr. Carpenter, you're the one who instigated the lawsuit, not me. Now, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Court orders.
But, Dr.
I'm
Martin,
sorry.
please. You and your bright ideas.
Oh, it was my idea, was it? Oh,
Nancy,
gosh.
please, not now. Not now. I couldn't.
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Thompson.
How do you do? How is she?
She's definitely arrived at a state of elevated awareness. Her reflexes have stabilized. This is an important step.
Is there a chance that she will regain consciousness?
It's too early to tell. I don't want to discourage you, but it's entirely possible that she might stay in this semi-comatose state for months, even years.
But, Doctor, what about the change, the improvement? Don't they mean anything?
Of course. I just didn't want you to set your hopes too high. With cases like this, anything is possible. Her muscle response is excellent. We're going to order an EEG as soon as possible to determine the brainwave activity. We'll know more when those results have been analyzed.
Isn't it entirely possible, though, that even if she does come out of this state, that she could remain a vegetable?
Of course. Brain damage is a real possibility. But her stimuli response is a good counterindicator of any severe cerebral obstruction.
Well, I'm very glad you agreed to take the case, Doctor. I can just tell that you're going to take very good care of Miriam.
To be more honest, she's in God's hands now. All we can do is hope and wait.
May I see her?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Level with me, Doctor. What are the odds of her coming out of this with all her faculties?
The odds?
Well, yeah, you know, like 10 to 1, 50 to 1.
What are you doing, taking bets? This isn't Las Vegas. That young woman's life's at stake. Excuse me.
Ben, guess what?
I hope it's good news.
It is. I got the job.
Oh, well, that's great. What job?
The job.
Laura, you've applied for I don't know how many jobs the past few months. Which one?
The one I really wanted. The teaching job. I told you about it. The remedial reading class for problem kids. Oh, Ben, I'm so happy. I can't wait to get started.
Problem kids. No, not the one in Chesterfield.
Of course, the one in Chesterfield.
Wait, I thought we had all this settled. I don't want you working in that part of town.
So it's all right for you to work in that part of town, but not for me. Is that it?
Do you know what the crime rate is in that area?
Yes, I do. And I also know what the high school dropout rate is. Ben, they need teachers there.
I know, honey, but... Well, I guess if you just don't stay at school after dark.
Ben, it's a night class. It's for kids that can't go to a regular high school. Kids that have dropped out, flunked out, or been kicked out, remember? Ben, I thought you'd be happy for me. This is the one job I really wanted.
Well, I'm sorry, honey. I don't think you should take the job. It's too dangerous. I know what it's like down there.
This is what I want to do.
It's not right. Now, couldn't you wait for another teaching job to open up somewhere else?
I don't want a teaching job somewhere else. Ben, can't you see? Look, I know it won't be easy. These are kids that have had everyone else give up on them. And I want to reach them.
Do you really think you can after everybody else has failed?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, it's easy to be idealistic now. But I'm afraid you're going to be in for a very rude awakening.
Ben, I never said I wanted it easy.
Well, don't worry. In Chesterfield, it won't be. I mean, I don't think you should take the job.
I already have.
Without discussing it with me?
Ben, I know it's right. I've prayed about it.
I heard what happened with Becky.
Oh?
I came to offer my condolences. I'm really sorry, Ross.
Cut
I know
the
how
phony
you must...
sympathy bit, Mom.
Ross.
Don't you think I know what you've been up to?
What do you mean?
This is what you've wanted all along. Well, you finally got your way.
Ross,
I know what you did.
Me?
And let me tell you something. You not only lost a daughter-in-law, you also lost a son.